Hey, everybody. Welcome back to PD and PDubs Unscripted. It is Friday, June 17th, and here we are with another fabulous Community Connections podcast joined by PD. How are you, buddy?
Good, PDubs. How you doing? I almost said PD there, but I am PD.
I know. Yep, we're doing all right. Hey, we're doing real good. We got some excellent, wonderful guests today, and I think they're repeat guests.
Yeah.
But before we get into introducing our guests, today's podcast is brought to you by Immanuel's AV team, commonly known as the Balcony Rats.
Yeah.
We thank them for making us sound good, look good, and feel good in worship.
Yeah, they do great things to help us look good on worships. You know, now that we got some high-def cameras, you know, as we stream them everywhere. So we are very thankful for that and make us sound good and hopefully mute our mics if we forget to when it's time to sing.
Yeah, well, that never happens with you and I. We're so professional, aren't we? We never mess up.
Never. That would never happen.
But yeah, we're thankful for all of our volunteers, and you know, it's led by Jenny Lobbs, our music director, and she has some AV managers that oversee each service, and some very willing and supportive helpers who are at every station, you know, just making worship happen and just, you know, raise the roof, man.
Right, and so if you're interested in joining, talk to Jenny, you know, middle school on up. You know, all ages are welcome to help with that.
They are. I'm glad you said that because we're always in need of volunteers up in the balcony, and it's a fun crew, and they'll just show you what you need to do. It's not overwhelming by any means.
And we forgot the important part. A lot of times Jenny provides some snacks up there for the AV team.
She takes care of her balcony rats.
Yes, she does.
All right. So, Pastor, who's our return guest this day?
We have Sofie and Maggie here joining us. Sofie was on... I think Sofie and Dr. Mulaney were our first guests for the Community Connections to talk about the school. And Maggie was on not too long ago to talk about the dance group at Immanuel. And so they have another thing that they're actually partnering together. So we can let them share a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, welcome, ladies.
Hey, nice to be here. Nice to be back. And the studio's great.
What do you think of the place?
It looks awesome.
Yeah, we've made the neighborhood look a little bit better inside here. I mean, it's nice. Yeah. Nice cushy carpeting, you know.
Cozy corner.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestions for the name for the studio, we're trying to solicit names for the studio so that we can say PD and PDubs Unscripted coming live from such and such a studio.
Yeah, in Palatine, Illinois. Yeah. Maggie, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah? Well, we're glad to have you. And you ladies are embarking on quite an adventure this summer. Perennially, Immanuel has been involved in I guess it's called the Hometown Fest Parade, right? Around 4th of July. And it is one that has, I would guess 70 to 80 entrants for the parade.
Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah, and, you know, we're usually kind of in the back. You know, if you're waiting for us Immanuel folks.
We're almost back to Quinnen Road.
Yeah, when we line up. But, so ladies, tell us... number one, how you got involved in, tandem leading this, and two, what do you have in store for us? Like, what will happen this year at the Immanuel Parade entry?
Well, I run the dance program here at Immanuel, and I was hoping to actually do the parade last year. I thought it would be a really fun performance opportunity for my dancers. But unfortunately, the parade didn't happen last year, so I was really looking forward to it this year. I was so bummed. Yeah, it was. It
could have. Not to judge. Yeah. But you know, we were all disappointed.
Yeah. So this year, Sofie and I both got involved in it, and we're looking forward to heading it up.
Yeah. No, I think I knew Maggie had an interest in it. So I kind of suctioned myself to her in that way. And I was like, hey, so since you really want your people to participate, I would love to have them. And by the way, do you want to do this with me? And it's just been a great partnership so far. So.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, because you do something like this, you never want to be alone. I've been there on this one. You know, I've done this alone a couple of times, and you're just like, please, someone show up.
It's a big undertaking.
I bought a lot of candy to throw out to the people, and, you know.
Well, that candy goes quickly.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah. And it's a pretty lengthy route too.
Yeah.
So.
Especially in the summer when it gets a little toasty out there.
Yeah. But as if you're in the parade and you're walking the parade, you get a little fatigued, but you round that corner off of Brockway onto Wood, and you see our hometown folks, our Immanuel community, and they never fail. They're always cheering us on, and it kind of gets us through the home stretch, and we make it.
And some of us go play in the water if they're spraying the water.
That was the best. I mean, the one year it was so hot, we got to the end, and there was like fire hydrants just gushing water straight up in the air. And I just walked directly over there and stood on it. Got completely and utterly soaking wet. But it's what I needed. It was the lifesaver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, Sofie or Maggie, tell us some of the groups that you envision that are going to be a part of our Immanuel entry.
Yeah, that'd be great. So obviously our dancers are going to be featured. We're also going to have our AHG and Trail Life group.
So for those who don't know us, what does AHG stand for?
American Heritage Girls. Mm-hmm.
Right. And they're a Christian scouting group that we sponsor. And Trail Life Boys is the same. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah. And we're really looking to have a variety of groups represented from Immanuel. So our PTL is also going to be involved in walking. We're looking to have some students from our Discovery Camp involved. Who else am I missing? Athletics.
Yep.
You were talking about maybe some people dribbling basketballs and very cool.
So, everybody is welcome to come and participate. We really encourage you all to get in touch with Maggie or me if you're interested in just walking, or if you want to hang back here. We hope to have some kind of little refreshment table at the end of our lot too, if we can.
Nice. That'd be great. So do we meet up at Immanuel and then walk to our spot, or do we just go to our spot, do you think?
So we're planning on meeting at our spot in the parade lineup. We're not exactly sure where that is yet, but we will definitely communicate that
from
once
past
we figure it out.
Performance, it's usually down Wood Street as you get away from the condos, right by the reservoir. Mm-hmm. So if you kind of head that way, like I said, because I don't know why, but ours entry is usually in the back. So, once you walk down that Wood Street, you're definitely going to see Immanuel.
Right.
So.
We'll be easy to spot. So those who register, we're looking to get uniformed T-shirts too. So everybody would have that. So you'll definitely be able to see us in the lineup while we're there.
Very cool.
Which is great. So we're thinking about a 10:30 meetup at our spot in line.
Okay.
So we'll make sure to post that out on, our website and everything like that.
Yeah, because the parade kicks off at 11. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, so obviously it'll take a while before we start moving. So I think, that sounds like fun, a 10:30 meetup time. So
And that's July 2nd, too. I don't know if I said that before.
Which is a Saturday.
Saturday, July 2nd is the day.
Probably another thing, too, is in the years past, even if people are just going to meet us over there at our spot, still feel free to park at Immanuel because there's really no parking over there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point, Pastor. Yeah, because we have a big lot and might as well use it for that. So,
right.
And if you're just not into walking the parade, as we were kind of alluding to, you could be a part of the Immanuel community who cheers on everyone in the parade right outside our parking lot on Wood Street, right next to what would be our south entrance, right? So, that's a lot of people always are. I find it fascinating how, at this parade, people come the night before and stake out their space. It's very competitive, and you better be on the game. You just can't show up
willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Willy-nilly. I think a lot of people this year, since, I know we've all missed it, I think we'll see a really great turnout for the community, too.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think the community missed it for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I was just going to say, hopefully it's not as warm as it is today when we're recording.
Yeah.
Because it's a little humid out there.
Yeah, those high heat indices. Ooh, that could be rough.
Drink lots of water.
Lots of water. Yep.
Yeah.
So in past years, I don't know, we used to have our praise band come and like play, and but it's been a while. And one year I was singing with the praise band. Oh, this is a funny story. So you know how like, with one group of people in your life, you kind of are known in this regard. And then with like, let's say friends that you grew up with, they know you in a different way. Okay. So, my friends from high school, they've really never seen me around my church family, but they knew that I was really involved. And back then I was like the president of the congregation. And somehow I got talked into singing with the praise band. And you know me, I love singing to Jesus. And so we're going around the parade route and I'm just belting it out. I can't remember what song it is. And I look over and I see one of my high school friends and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I could just feel like myself feeling embarrassed. And then he points to me, he's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. But I'm like, no, I'm going to keep singing for Jesus. I don't care. And then like his parents were there and they're like, "Warren, we didn't know you could sing." And I'm like, well, are you really listening?
Have they not hung out with you enough?
I know. Well, but yeah, so just be careful whenever you're asked to do something.
Maybe you can chant this year.
Oh, I would let you do that.
You're an expert chanter, unlike myself.
So, but yeah, parades are fun, good times, and hopefully we'll have some things like that we can pass out. Like usually the church will help out with candy, so we usually buy a whole ton of candy, and probably should get on that right away since delivery of such things is a little extended these days. But
yeah, for those that don't really feel like participating in the parade but still want to get involved, we do take candy donations.
Mm-hmm.
So you can drop them off to the front office, either the church office or the school office, between like 8:30 and 2:30, and do it attention to Maggie or me, and we'd be happy to take those. So that would be great.
So I shared a parade story. Have you guys ever been in a parade?
I have been
Okay, can you share a memory?
I marched with Immanuel several times.
Okay.
I remember walking with cross-country banners, I think, back in the days when we won a couple state and a couple national championships. So I just remember that being very hot, but also fun, I think. And I danced in the parades, a couple parades, I think, in the years after with my dance company. And it can be really, really hot, but I think the excitement of it all makes it a little more bearable.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I don't know that I have any specific parade memories, but I just remember it always being a great time. And it's
cool.
fun to have all those people cheering you on. And I remember when I was walking with my dance company, I would see people from Immanuel, and it was exciting to see all those people in the audience.
It really is. They're generally happy to see you. I mean, that's what I just love about, like when we get to our Immanuel contingent, they're just like so delighted. They're proud of their Immanuel family. So how about you, Pastor?
A ton of experience,
Okay, yeah.
Whether it was,
Do tell.
There was times in high school of marching in homecoming parades with my trumpet. Not that I was a very good trumpet player. Kind of blocked those ones out of my memory. I just remember it's kind of nice because like our high school, when I was in high school, they would line up right in the cul-de-sac that I grew up in. So it's kind of nice.
That's convenient.
It was kind of
convenient.
Yeah.
And like I remember like when my brother was in band, like he'd bring all like pop and stuff for the percussionists because he played percussion. And then slowly after that, it felt like every year the band director kind of let them get a little bit later arrival to not have that. And like, but yeah, I was just like, okay, I'll walk out the front door. I'm here. And so that was kind of nice. But when I think of parades, I think of back to like childhood and being in fire trucks because my dad was a firefighter in Hoffman Estates.
Cool. Yeah.
And so, especially with Hoffman, he would always be the one to go buy the new fire trucks when they got them up at Pierce's factory in Appleton, Wisconsin. And so usually when there was a brand new one, he would drive that in the parade or whatever other one maybe. And with my two brothers, we'd kind of rotate who would be in the front seat each year. So it was like a 3-year cycle kind of who got to be in the front. And, what little kid doesn't want to play with sirens in the
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be like, and then it'd be like, Dad would be like, okay, that's enough for now. No more sirens. Lay off for a little bit. And she's like, okay, you can go back to the sirens now. But so, that was always a lot of fun. And so I kind of was spoiled because all my earliest parade memories, I was just riding in a fire truck. None of this walking in the heat stuff.
Yeah, right.
I was just in the front cab of the fire truck or in the back seats waving. People who had no clue who I was because it was in Hoffman Estates. And then we were always in the front of the parade. And then we'd always kind of then watch the rest of the parade kind of on the back side of where Popular Creek Bowl is in that movie theater and where Garibaldi's is there on.
Okay.
But on the back side of that.
Okay.
Because that's where the parade was. And then I remember going then to like the 4th of July stuff in Hoffman Estates at the City Hall. And then ultimately fireworks there at Popular Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Sophie, do you have any memories of parades, like either being in them or watching a parade in your life?
Man. I think when I was really small, my family went to the Barrington area parades. And there was one year that I got to ride in a Corvette.
Oh,
and I was
wow.
really excited because the number one rule in those cars as I was growing up was you can't sit on the back headrests, right?
Right.
Where the top goes in and out.
Right, yeah.
But that day, boy, I got to sit on the back of the headrest with my friend from our dance team. But my most recent memories are from our Immanuel parade.
Nice.
When I went to school here, we got to participate and do basketball drills with my teammates in I think 8th grade. And that was right after we had won state and national. So it was pretty special memory to go through all that with. So it was not anything particular that stuck out, but it's just the energy level is so fun. And we're so excited, I think, to represent Immanuel and show our Palatine community what it really means to be a part of this family. And so I think that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so great about the parade. It kind of highlights all the different ministries at Immanuel. It's not just that you guys say, oh, it's only going to be the athletics or the school, but it's all the different organizations of Immanuel can sign up because you guys sent, an email out for volunteers looking to volunteer. And even if they didn't get that email, how can they get a hold of you guys to find out more info?
Well, you can send me an email. My email is mwalsh@ilcp.org. And Sophie will share her email as well.
My last name is pronounced Zik, so it's sdzik@ilcp.org.
There's also a link to a form on the website, and this form is just to kind of help us figure out who's marching and if you're marching with a group. It also asks for your t-shirt size, which is very important as we go to order those matching t-shirts. So if you're interested, feel free to head on over to the church website and check out that form.
And you'll be greeted on that page with a beautiful picture of Pastor Warren holding up one of the banners. And just funny looking at how some of the people in that picture have grown older because there's a couple kids in that it's like, man, they're in junior high now.
Yep. And you'll notice the professional look of my wave. We were talking earlier before we started, the variations of waving, like screwing in the light bulb or doing the Queen's wave, or that, many models are schooled on and, for waving. So
I think it's like elbow, wrist,
oh,
wrist.
yeah. Oh, that's
Let your fingers do a twist or something.
Oh, nice.
I've never heard that one.
I love it. Well, I just popped in there.
It's all coming back.
Oh, that's great. So did you do that on the Corvette?
Oh, yes, of course.
Elbow, twist. Let your fingers do the whatever.
Princess Diaries waves. That's good.
Yeah.
Did you have the jazz hands? What are your...
Oh, well, maybe Maggie could incorporate that into her dance
The jazz hands. We'll have to start the wave and just go through our group and
that would be
cool.
cool.
Very cool.
my group do the wave.
Now the creative juices are flowing.
Yes. Well, nothing beats a parade. Everybody loves a parade.
Yeah, so it's great that this parade's happening again after a couple of years of being off, and we got, I think, the right people leading the parade charge this year for Immanuel.
For sure.
Yeah, and if you're interested in participating, I know this is airing June 17th. Just if once you hit that link, do it as soon as you can. Because we need to place those orders for t-shirts. So we'd ideally like to have a response by June 20th, which is next Monday.
And I can put that link in the podcast like description and even on the social media post when I post it up there.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Sofie and Maggie, for joining us today and sharing a little bit about Immanuel's participation and just the fun of parades.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks
for having us.